Hello, beautiful people. It's Mai here from Nintendo Life, and, well, I'm not alone. Sadly, Alex couldn't make it today. However, I am joined here by the lovely, lovely Jim. Hi, Jim. Lovely to have you here as always.
Hello, Mai. Thank you for having me.
Of course, always. We're gonna chat about games coming out in June. And now, I will preface that, as always, this isn't going to be all the games coming out in June because, you know, there might be some that shadow drop. We can't tell the future, people. So instead, it's a nice little list that we've collated and things that we're really, really excited for. So, speaking of which, what's the first game we're excited for coming out in the month of June, Jim?
Yeah, it's a good one, and it is one that I am actually very excited for. So number one on the list is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which launches on Switch 2 on the 3rd of June. I am excited for this one because I'm in a slightly weird place with Final Fantasy VII, where this is the first time that I'm experiencing the remake trilogy. It's the first time that I'm experiencing Final Fantasy VII full stop. Is my big gaming confession. I played remake on Switch 2 earlier this year, and it was fantastic. And I have previewed Rebirth and left feeling very excited, but also slightly hesitant at how things were running in those big open areas. I obviously only got to see a little bit at the start, that first big grasslands area, and things were fine. Things were running fine, as well as we have seen in other kind of open world ports. But as I understand it, things get even bigger down the line. So I'm really hopeful that the Switch 2 version can hold up.
Oh, I'm really looking forward to it myself. I'm a huge fan of open world areas. I'm a big Final Fantasy 15 fan, and having been someone who played Final Fantasy 7 as a child, granted it was in Spanish and I had no idea what was going on. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And speaking about childhood favourites, coming out on the 4th of June is Tetris the Grandmaster 4 Absolute Eye, coming out on the Switch, and technically Switch 2 because backwards things, you know. I grew up playing Tetris. I love Tetris. I often have the Game Boy cartridge handy to have a go at. But this kind of slipped under the radar for me. It only got announced yesterday or the day before. And I'm always interested to see what new things come out with new Tetris games, what kind of things they're going to be adding. You probably are more clued on about what's happened in this new iteration because you're the one who brought it to my attention, didn't you, Jim?
I mean, yes, this is true. To say that I'm particularly clued in on it is a little bit of an overstatement. As far as I understand it, it's Tetris, but more Tetris is always good. I would be lying if I said I'm not currently reading our wonderful news post on Nintendo Life to find out what it's all about.
It's Tetris, folks. That's what it is. New Tetris.
The next game, which we are able to talk about because this is not Tetris. The next game on the list is Solarpunk, which launches on the Nintendo Switch 2 on the 8th of June. And I have seen clips of this game, I've watched videos of it, I've seen screenshots, and the thing that it absolutely screams to me is this is a Mai game. Am I wrong, Mai?
You are 100% right. I've been following Solarpunk for since it got announced, actually. It might have been a year or so ago, but I'm part of the cozy gamer community, you know, so having the nice sandboxy kind of, well, it's a Solarpunk style game, and it's multiplayer as well. You've got multiplayer capability, so you can play with your friends, and it just looks so lovely and not dystopian whatsoever, which is really refreshing because there are so many sandboxy crafting open world games or like multiplayer games where it's just like, oh no, the world has ended, you have to make a utopia. Nope, you're already in a utopia, which in my books is a good thing. I'm very excited. I'll definitely be picking this up. And speaking of cozy games, we've got another one on the list, haven't we, Jim? We've got To a T coming out on the 11th of June for the Nintendo Switch 2. I recall seeing this in a direct not that long ago, and it just looks like a fun little T-posing Annapurna game. We love an Annapurna game, don't we?
Yeah, it's a T-posing Annapurna game, and I might be wrong. It's from the developer of Katamari Damacy, which means it's going to be weird, it's going to be fun. It came out on PlayStation last year, I want to say. and it looked super adorable. It feels like the type of game that will really find a great home on Switch 2. So fingers crossed that the fans who have already played it follow it over here, and those who haven't finally get a chance to see what it's all about, because boy does it look weird.
It definitely looks like it would definitely be home. It's on Switch, Switch 2, I should probably say, and I'll be adding it to my library. I'm making a little list of games that I want. It's getting very, very expensive now, but this is going to be on the top of that, along with a few others that are on this current list.
Speaking of games that have been on our lists for a while, next up we've got Starseeker Astroneer Expeditions, which launches on the 11th of June for Nintendo Switch 2. The reason I say this has been on the list for a while is because if you cast your mind back to April the 2nd of last year, you will remember the Nintendo Switch 2 Reveal Direct, in which this game was featured, and it has been over a year of waiting to see more of this. For those who missed it, or for those who maybe have no Astroneer experience, this is No Man's Sky but cute. And this one promises lots of multiplayer planetary fun. It looks adorable, and I'm really excited to finally see it come our way, because it's one of those last stragglers from the Switch 2 Reveal Direct that we haven't actually been able to play yet.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying before this call that I've literally last night just jumped back into No Man's Sky, and I played a little bit of Astroneer. I think I might have been on Game Pass a while back, and I really enjoyed the vibes of it. But this one, it's being multiplayer and everything. I'm very, very excited. I'm trying to get over my multiplayer fear, so if I get more friends who are willing to play this and pick it up with me, I'm definitely going to go for it. But yeah, kind of like a chibi-esque No Man's Sky is the best way to kind of put it, I would say. I mean, going next, we've got a lot of cozy games on this list, I'll admit, which is great. It's the month of Mai, it seems like. We've got coming out on the very same 11th of June on the Switch and Switch 2, Unrailed 2 Back on Track. So with this is the sequel to Unrailed, a lovely little voxel art, kind of like train and track making game. You can play with other people as well with this, so you can play with your friends, so you're not entirely alone building the tracks. I just remember seeing this when it was announced and thinking, this is adorable. It reminds me a lot of the game Staxel in a way, which is another voxel style game. And again, it's a Mai game. You got to say that it's definitely a Mai game. Is it a Jim game though? That's the question.
I don't know whether it will be a Jim game. I'm not completely up to date on my Unrailed lore, but it looks like one of those that's going to be really, really fun to play with friends, and that's not normally the kind of games that I sit in. However, if it promises fun voxel times, it looks very sweet. It looks like it could be a lot of fun online. So who knows? Perhaps this game will put Jim back on track with the multiplayer. Yeah. And speaking of tracks, what a segue. The next up on the list, on the 17th of June, we finally get Denshattack on the Nintendo Switch 2. I know so many people who are so very excited for this. What if Tony Hawk was a train? It's like a crazy train track tricking game. It looks wild. It was one of the announcements that came out of the not so recent Indie World Direct, and I know that many of us will be excited to see just how crazy it is on Switch 2.
Oh, I know, I saw it on the Direct and I was thinking, what the heck is this? But also I know you mentioned Tony Hawk, but it also gave me a bit of like Hi-Fi Rush in a way, kind of vibes. The fact that it's just, Densha means train, attack. Very smart. But yeah, it's definitely one of the kind of game that I wouldn't usually pick up. However, I grew up playing Tony Hawk, so I'm definitely on track with that as well.
Yeah, Hi-Fi Rush isn't an apt comparison. It's one of those that's got all the color, all the music, all the energy, all the time, and I think that is really gonna scratch an itch for me and a lot of other people out there.
And so next we have, I don't know how we think of an interesting segue for this one, but on the 18th of June, we have a game that I'm genuinely excited for, The Adventures of Elliot, the Millennium Tales, coming out on the Switch 2. So I'm a huge fan of Octopath. I loved it to bits when I got it on my Switch all those years ago, and I'm also a massive fan of the 2D HD art style, unlike some people. And I can't wait to get my teeth sinking into this. There is a demo now as well, which came out, I believe, this week. So if you're itching to give it a go before the game comes out, then definitely dive into it. It's worth the go.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know some news with you, don't we, Jim, regarding this game?
You're damn right. Yes, I went hands-on with this game a little while ago now, and got to see the builds that we're now seeing in this new prologue demo. It's really, really fun. I take notes in all of my previews because I'm a good journalist, and I kept writing Zelda, underlining it, Zelda. For anyone that's kind of missing that top-down Zelda classic, if Mina the Hollower hasn't scratched that itch, then The Adventures of Elliot absolutely will. It's a little dude in a monochrome outfit with a matching hat, accompanied by a little fairy that helps you in puzzles and sometimes talks a little bit too much. It is so very Zelda that if Tingle had popped up in the overworld, I would not have batted an eyelid. I had a wonderful time with this, and it was one of those great preview experiences where I could look around the room and see 10 other journalists in 10 completely different spots to what I was doing. I got so lost in this game, and I am so very ready for it to gobble up all of my time when it launches this month.
Oh no, I'm going to be completely lost in it as well if it's going to be anything like my playtime for Octopath Traveler. Oh dear, oh my. But what's next on the list though, Jim? What have we got in store for us?
Yeah, we're going from destroying our free time to destroying all humans. This one comes to Switch 2 on the 23rd of June. There's only so much that we can really say about Destroy All Humans at this point. I think this is a new version for the Switch 2, but it's the game that all of us, I'm sure, enjoyed in the early 2000s on various consoles, and then enjoyed perhaps not so much on the Switch when it came a few years ago. It's aliens, it's shooting, it's probing, it's silly fun, and it's gonna have all of that kind of early 2000s joy that we all experienced back in the day.
And the satire as well, which I'm really excited for. Like, I love the whole tongue-in-cheek 1950s kind of just Mickey take, you know. I played a little bit of Destroy All Humans back in the day, but I never had a chance to play the remake. Yes, I played it on PS2 back in the day. Oh, but I'm really excited to kind of go proper hands-on and destroying all the humans, because humans. And whilst we're destroying all humans, we could also destroy our emotions with the next game, which it's destroyed me to my core on other platforms, is Wanderstop, coming out on the 23rd of June for the Nintendo Switch and Switch 2. I have a huge, massive spot in my heart for Wanderstop. It came out last year on PC and on PS5. I played it relentlessly to no end. I've also played it several times on PS5 as well, and to hear it on Switch and Switch 2, I feel like it's properly come home now. It's the perfect game for the console. For anyone who doesn't know what it's about, it's created by the same people who are involved with Stanley Parable, so you know you're gonna get your emotions destroyed with this. He plays Ulta, who is she's a fighter who suddenly loses, and she's just trying to regain all her strength. And she has to learn to kind of take time and learn that burnout needs to be healed, and takes up working in a tea shop in the middle of a big forest. And it's so charming, and whenever I talk to anyone about it, I'm always just like, you have to play this game. So Jim, you have to play this game.
Okay, yep, understood. No, it sounds so very up my street. It's cozy with that kind of little fantasy twist to it, and it's also gonna make me weep, which to be fair is not. Yeah, so it's not a high bar. I weep at a lot. But yeah, no, this looks adorable. It's got some hilarious character design. I love the look of the big guy. This is certainly on my list.
We're going to our final game now, Jim. What could be in store? What could be the last thing coming out?
We absolutely are. You might have noticed that we've managed to make it through a whole monthly video without talking about a Nintendo release, but that stops right now because Star Fox finally is coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on the 25th of June. This game has felt like a long time coming. Star Fox has had its fans forever, but it missed the Switch generation, which felt strange given that it had 2 technically releases on the Wii U. So to see it coming back, regardless of the fact that it's an N64 remake again, I am so very excited for this. I love a bit of Star Fox. I particularly love Star Fox 64, who doesn't? So I am really, really excited to see what they've done with it this time around. Mai, what's your Star Fox experience like?
Not very much,
Oh,
if
no.
I'm honest. However, I have plans this weekend to play Star Fox 64 on NSO, because I hear it's not too long, but it has lots of replayability. And from what I've been hearing about the new Star Fox, it just it looks really nice, and I want to give a go at the multiplayer again. Like, again, trying to get over my multiplayer fear, but I think it's really nice having a new Star Fox game for new generations as well as people who maybe missed it out on the original consoles. So, genuinely excited. I also have a couple of friends who are badgering me to play with them, so I think I'm going to have to pick this up. I'm going to pre-order it, I think, in a couple of days.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be worth the price of admission for those weird AR filters alone. Like, if I can look like Slippy Frog on all of my game chat calls from here on in, then that's good. That's just money well spent.
Fantastic. And well, that's it, folks. We got all the games that we've been chatting about there coming out in June. What are you looking forward to? Are there any games that we missed out on our list that you want to play that's coming out in the month of June? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, why don't you stamp a big old buy this game stamp on the subscribe button, and check out nintendolife.com for some more lovely Nintendo bits and bobs. Again, thank you, Jim, so much for joining me in this chat, and in the meantime, folks, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.